Okay, we're live.
Okay, we're live?
Yes, Leonard.
But why are we late?
We're not late.
It's the birthday show, and we're a couple of seconds. Look at how nice. Welcome aboard, everybody, on the birthday show. That's right, it's the birthday show. Normally, we don't count birthdays anymore, but we'll take a look at the chat room. Whoa, Boston Paul, that's a premiere. Daniel Ferrara, James Caplion, the king of all hopelessness, but one of my dear buddies, King Hap, Poncho Jr., post-1958, SM King Turd, triple play. I can't even, I am overwhelmed on a Sunday morning with the sun out and the chat room loaded. You can't
you came
ask.
to celebrate your birthday, Leonard.
And what are you doing?
How old are you today?
And what are you doing here?
I'm here to celebrate too.
Okay, good.
We were going to go to the airport and all kinds of things.
Oh, my son was going to surprise me and tell me that he was flying into New York from Chicago. I would have missed the podcast, but I would have been there to pick him up.
And I would have been doing it.
And then late last night he calls up and his son came down with COVID. And then my daughter, whose house we were going to hang out all day, she went to the emergency room because she had fever. Crazy stuff. Good morning to everybody. SM King Turd is here. Tommy Johnson is here. Laura has joined us. And we are, look at this chat room at 9 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday morning. It's the greatest chat room in the history of the world. So let's get on to baseball. Enough on my birthday. I've seen 76 of them, and I don't want to even talk about it anymore. But let's get to some. I'm going to ask you something, okay? A pitching situation or a hitting situation? You tell me which is the more impressive achievement. Number one, Jordan Alvarez, 8 home runs against Seattle since last year. All right, you got that?
Yeah.
Or Nate Eovaldi going back-to-back starts of 8 shutout innings. Which would you say is a more impressive piece of work?
I'll say Eovaldi.
Eovaldi, back-to-back starts of 8 shutout innings.
Yeah.
And, he is. But you never know what you're going to get. And every once in a while, Danny, what happens?
What?
He throws in a clinker, right? Yes, I know. The show starts, I go right for my pants. I understand that. She's laughing. Okay, go ahead.
But that's interesting. The reason that I say that it's so much of a better feat, even though it's pretty impressive when you hit 8 home runs against a team.
Yeah.
But
In 2 years, that's it. Poncho Jr., good morning.
It's really amazing.
Bill Schneider. Well, I got to say hello.
Okay.
People come to pay their respects. It's so
Pay the respects. You're not dead.
Oh, that's right. This is not a funeral procession. This is a birthday. All right, go ahead.
Eovaldi's impressive because there are currently 63 starting pitchers on the injury list. 63. Yeah. That's enough starting pitchers to field 12 MLB team rotations.
Yeah, that's pretty. You know what I decided to do on my 76th birthday?
I have no idea.
I will start to record podcasts. Now, I'm the only one in the country who can do that. What? I will start doing podcasts every day. And so after I do pass away, you'll still be able to listen to about, as many shows as I can record.
Well, you're doing that anyway, and we have hundreds of them on Spreaker.
I'm talking about new ones.
Oh, what do you mean new ones?
I could do a podcast without saying anything that's current. I could do it. Anyway, 63 starting pitchers on the injured list.
Yes, my friend.
Wow, you think that's because of the pitch clock? Or
no.
just because? I think it's because, here's the reason.
Because we treat these pitchers like little babies.
That's true, but here's the reason. The pitchers all ramped up to play in that WBC stuff, and then they calmed it down, and then they ramped it up.
I'm full of bull dinky today.
You know what? Baseball is a sport that's tradition, and the players have a way of preparing. And this year, many of them, including the pitchers, didn't prepare the same way. Go ahead.
I don't think that's true. You would
They
have
had to get ready for the WBC.
Look, it wouldn't be that hard to figure out which 63 starting
Yes.
pitchers are injured and how many of them played in the WBC.
That's what we have
But you're
to
just
do.
you're just saying stuff, pulling it out of the air. And
I am pulling it. Well, you know what? It's very easy to do a show or whatever and just pull it out of the air. But I'm coming up with something that's very interesting, and I'm going to come up with the answer. Good morning to Mal.
Daniel's here. He says Hulkamaniacs.
Malpal is there. Good morning to Malpal.
And Tina.
And Tina is here. Mitchell Horston is here. That means Merrill can't be far behind. Okay.
Right. SM King Turd and Turd Jr.
Oh, how about this one?
Okay.
Chicago White Sox.
Wait a minute. The Rays are about to play 7 straight games in New York.
Yeah, how about that?
So
Now, do you think that's going to take them? Now, I predicted when Toronto geared up to play Pittsburgh, the Pirates just not doing a good job.
No, they've lost like 6 in a row now.
But I also predicted that the White Sox were going to take off, and it looks like they started getting better. But what were you saying about the...
Eloy hit a home run on Friday, and now he had an appendectomy, dude. He had to have surgery at the hospital.
Eloy
Yeah, Eloy.
underwent an appendectomy, and we all thought he was full of bull dinky and poppycock with another strange injury. But you don't fake appendectomies, right?
4 to 6 weeks he's out now. No, you can't fake that, Leonard.
Okay.
I don't think Eloy's faking his injuries.
No, you think Eloy's
but they have
faking
the
it?
worst manager in town.
Yeah, but knowing the White Sox, Eloy had an appendectomy. Why is he walking around in crutches?
I don't know, Leonard.
He's not walking around. Appendectomy, you got crutches.
I don't even know. I'm lucky enough to not know what that is. Okay,
What,
I'm not
appendectomy? What do you think an appendectomy is? A sprained ankle? No, it's your appendix.
They don't take it out, do they?
Yes.
The whole thing?
Yes.
They just take stuff out of your body nowadays. If your gallbladder has stones, they just
Take it out.
Yeah,
That's it.
They just. What the fuck? Okay.
Let's
I'd like
go to
to
the
leave
chat.
it.
Let's wake up the chat room. There are 2 baseball people who have been ejected 10 times as a player and 10 times as a manager. Now that
Pete
Malcolm's
Rose.
in the chat
Could
room.
it be Pete Rose?
And,
Is that a good one?
Pancho Jr.? No, it's not Pete Rose.
Is that a good guess?
Yes, a very good guess.
How about Ozzie Guillen?
Name the 2 players that have been thrown out of Major League Baseball games
Tony La Russa.
10 times as a manager and 10 times as a coach.
As a manager and a coach, what's the difference?
And they're both not playing, okay? Okay.
What's the difference between a manager and a coach?
One's a manager and the other one's a coach.
So, like, as a pitching coach or a
Yeah,
hitting
something
coach?
like that, okay? But they've
Okay.
been thrown out 10 times each. Eddie Heckman.
Larry Boa.
Yeah, Larry Bow was one.
And who's the other?
And the other one was, well, let's give the chat room a chance. The other one,
Okay.
I was married to Arlene Dahl.
Okay.
Leo DeRocha, all right? Leo DeRocha.
The Yankees are 2-5 since Judge was placed on the injured list.
Oh, my God.
They've scored the fewest runs in the majors over that span. So,
The Yankees are in a lot of
well,
trouble.
they like their leader.
The Mets
Judge
are
is
in a
their
lot
captain.
of trouble. The Yankees are in a lot of trouble. I think Tampa, in spite of their great start, I think they're going to be in a lot of trouble.
You know what? They just allowed their 100th run of the season. The A's allowed their 100th run of the season a month ago.
Really?
Almost a month ago.
And they're in the ballgame, right? The only the only major league team in the modern era to score 7 or more runs in a game, with all of them coming after 2 outs and nobody on, and their final turn at bat was last night. The Mariners in a wild and woolly. What's wild and woolly? What does woolly mean? I know what wild means, but
I don't think you even have the phrase right, Leonard.
how can a game be woolly?
I don't think you have the phrase
Well,
right.
Saturday night against the Astros, Seattle scored 7 runs in a game, all of them coming after having 2 outs and nobody on. Right?
Right, I guess. That doesn't even make sense to me, so.
Well, what makes sense?
I don't know. It's just too much info. Basically, ridiculous stuff.
What about...
The Pirates, they
I
started...
guess the Pirates, the things I said about the Pirates made a little sense to you.
That's why they were the most surprising. They're still more surprising than the Cardinals, who are sucking.
Oh, I think the Cardinals are the most surprising, and I'll tell you why, but go ahead.
The Pirates were 20-8, okay, to start the season. That's 714 win percentage. They've lost 6 in a row, and that's the highest winning percentage by an MLB team entering a 6+ game losing streak since 1981.
Yeah.
And that was the A's.
And I think the Pirates have seen the best of their season. But you mentioned the Cardinals. Now, for those of you who didn't hear me during the week, I will say it once again. The Cardinals team has been comprised, and this is where fantasy baseball comes into play. All right? I know you can.
Why are you doing the Cardinals right now? We're supposed to talk about Johnny Cueto.
You just mentioned the Cardinals.
Yes, I know, but
So I'm explaining something.
we have a whole section to talk about the
It's
Cardinals.
okay. There's plenty to talk about the Cardinals. But here's the deal with the Cardinals. I'm going to mention so many players. And all of them, what do they all have in common? All right, let me just tell you the players I'm talking about.
Okay.
First of all, what do they have in common? Brendan Donovan, Alec Burleson, Juan Yepes, Dylan Carlson, Lars Nootbaar, Nolan Gorman, Tyler O'Neill. I mean, what?
What do they all have in common?
Yeah, what do they all have in common?
I was going to say lefties till you said Juan Yepes.
Nope.
Most of those guys are lefties.
That's not it. They're all, for the most part, fantasy relevant sleepers. Each one, Donovan, Edmund, Carlson, Nootbaar, Gorman, Yepes, O'Neill, everybody thought, look, I'm going to grab these guys in the end game or at the end of the draft. I'm only going to pay $5-6, but I think they're all going to be, I think they're all going to be stars. So in people's mind, the Cardinal team, and you add Goldschmidt and Arenado to a bunch of stars. Stars for what? Fantasy baseball sleepers is what they were, and they're all sleeping, and the Cardinals are not a disappointment. They have 2 players. They got Goldschmidt, and they got Arenado, and maybe Wilson Contreras. We'll talk about that later. But still, that's it. That's it. Nobody else deserves to be considered a disappointment.
Okay.
And the pitching staff, Mikolas, Wainwright, Montgomery, and Flaherty.
And Matt.
Maybe 2 pitchers that were fantasy relevant. So fantasy baseball now is really turning into a predictor of so much. All right, go ahead.
Johnny Cueto's, dude.
Oh, gosh.
He had a rehab appearance yesterday. I had a better day than him, dude.
Oh, he had a terrible
2
day.
1/3 innings, 4 home runs allowed,
Yeah.
6 earned runs. His ERA is 25.71 on his rehab. 2 1/3, 7 hits, 6 earned runs, 4 home runs allowed. That's just a nightmare.
So don't look, they got Alcantara, they got Cabrera, Luzardo, Braxton Garrett. Don't expect Johnny Cueto
He's done,
to make
dude.
an impact on your fantasy team.
Yeah, they don't even have a place to put him even if he is healthy.
Well, look, the Marlins have some good pitching,
Yeah, they
but
have
they're
some good youngsters.
they're just not putting it together right now. I predicted the Marlins would make the playoffs. I may have to go off of that. That may not happen.
Yeah.
But still.
You say that every year. You're just
yeah.
hoping one day they will.
What do you talk? Don't criticize my picks. How about Oscar Gonzalez? So that was your pick.
I need to blame John Garoppolo for this guy.
Oh,
Here's what he did.
yeah.
He batted 192 with a 213 average over his first 75 plate appearances, and they sent him down to AAA. He's been on my bench in fantasy, and you know what? I'm serious. I'm not ready to give up on this guy because the people that they have filling in for Oscar Gonzalez or playing his position now are just jokesters themselves. You got Will Brennan, who's batting 191, and you also have Gabriel Arias, who was in the lineup yesterday playing that spot, but he's batting 171, so I don't know how long they're going to be able to keep Oscar Gonzalez down. But all these guys and the people, it's not like they have somebody to replace him that's any good. That's my point.
Well, he's got to do something.
Yeah, I know.
If he does something, he'll be up in a heartbeat. I'll tell you that. He does,
He's been sucking.
but yet Brent Rooker, who on Friday I noticed went 3 for 5, had a home run, a double, 3 RBIs in a win over the Royals. Rooker has made an impact.
Okay, but he doesn't play the same spot.
Well, he's also like an outfielder DH, so it is the same spot. But Rooker belted a 2-run homer the other day. He's up to 10 home runs, 25 RBIs. That's through 26 games. He had an 11-game stretch where he batted .350. Rooker has become...
He's on Oakland. We're talking about Oscar
He's
Gonzalez.
on Oakland, but still, you're talking about fantasy baseball. Many of us thought Gonzalez would be Rooker. Rooker is now Gonzalez.
What the hell does that mean?
It means Rooker is what we thought Gonzalez would be, and Gonzalez is
a
nothing.
jokester.
It's a joke.
Gonzalez is a jokester.
Huge breakout. And by the way, look at this chat room. Bill Schneider is here, SM King Turn.
Poncho, hello.
Tommy Johnston, post 1958, Poncho Jr. Mitchell, Merrill, Malpal, Leonard
Napster.
Donaldson, and Laura, and King Hap, and James Caplion, and Eddie Heckman. Woo! Daniel Ferrara. Bah! Boston Paul. And
okay,
we are
the
rocking.
Cardinals fell to 10-23 and own the worst record in the National League. They were never 13 games under 500 at any point during Yadier Molina's entire career.
Yeah. So we talked about this, and I brought up more than once, Tampa. When Tampa went from an expansion team to a team that people respected, it was when they signed Cliff Floyd and Troy Percival. And when they signed those two guys, most of the baseball public said, what? These guys are well over the hill. And maybe so, but it was their ability to control and create a clubhouse that was good for winning, and that's what's going on. That's what Molina did as well.
Well, what is wrong with why aren't the Cardinals bringing up Matthew Liberatore? Because first of all, he spent 21 and 22 basically the whole time at AAA. So he's got plenty of it. He's got over 200 innings at AAA. Also, last year he came to the majors and he pitched 34 and 2/3 innings. He had a 5.97 ERA, so I'm not surprised that they started him again at AAA this year. But right now at AAA, he's got 39 innings, 51 strikeouts, and a 2.77 ERA. So he goes deep into games, over 5 innings every start so far this season at the minors. I don't know why they're not pulling this guy up. You already just read off their depth chart for their pitchers, and it's a bunch of jokesters.
And Steven Matz has been horrible. Let's put it this way.
Let's just face it.
Let's just take this way. They're unwilling to move their $44 million starter, Steve Matz, to the bullpen for one of the hottest pitchers in the minors, and that's Matthew Liberatore.
He's not even that hot, but he's
crazy.
ready to come up. They're just punishing him at this point. I don't know why they're keeping him down there. It's ridiculous. But another thing with the Yankees organization, can we move on to the Yankees, or you still want to
you want
to talk about Wilson Contreras going to the outfield?
I want to talk about this. All that's changed from last year in St. Louis is they lost Yachty. Yeah. They lost Albert. They lost Quintana. Those are the three big losses.
No.
Pujols, Yachty, and Quintana.
Okay.
They added Contreras, Gorman, Flaherty, healthy again, and somehow they've gone from a 93-win team to the worst team in the National League.
They're having a bad start to the season.
You think so?
Yeah, Leonard.
And the Cardinals aren't, so they're considering using Wilson Contreras in the outfield, and they will use him.
Yes, they are going to use him. In the next couple of weeks, you're going to see Wilson Contreras playing DH and outfield instead of catching, which is good for fantasy people because as long as he qualifies at catcher, it's great when they actually play him in the outfield because he gets more at-bats.
Exactly. So he'll still, you agree, Malpal? Wilson Contreras, still the big deal.
So this is the sports journalist vultures here saying that a high-ranking person in the Yankees organization told Michael Kay, don't be surprised if we see Jason Dominguez in the big leagues this season.
Wow.
Okay, fine. That's all fine and dandy, but he hasn't made it to AAA yet. he has so far at Double A this year 92 plate appearances, 3 home runs, 8 RBIs. That's not great, but he does walk a lot. He walks as much as he strikes out, which is interesting to see for a guy like this because he doesn't have the greatest plate discipline. And they also are playing him in the minor leagues at left field and center field. He normally plays just center field, but they're getting him reps at left field too because Aaron Judge is playing center. I don't even know what's going on in their outfield, but they have a bunch of jokesters. Jokesters is my word of the day.
Lady in the Legend Day. Birthday, Lady in the Legend Day. Thank you all for joining us. We really appreciate it.
But Gleyber Torres.
The Yankees and the Mets are both going to go through big shakeups. And you mentioned Gleyber Torres.
Gleyber Torres, 4 home runs, 11 RBIs. His batting average is .236, and his on-base percentage is .336. He's got 5 stolen bases, but he's been caught 4 times. So his stolen base success is low. Now you have Volpe. He's got 3 home runs, and he's got 11 stolen bases, and he hasn't been caught 1 time. But this person thinks that they need to get rid of Gleyber Torres. I'm not going to say that I agree.
Well, it's part of a shakeup. The Yankees have to shake it up. They got some minor leaguers led by Dominguez. Volpe is there. They got and the Mets are shaking it up too. The Mets have no choice but to bring up their minor leaguers. And, look, in just 4 years, Tampa has developed. Listen to this. Listen. Are you listening?
Yes.
In 4 years, the Tampa Rays have developed more quality starters than the Cashman Yankees have in 20 years, with 1/4 of the payroll. That's crazy.
With 1/4 of the payroll, that's the crazy.
That's the crazy.
Well, James Paxton is on the verge of making his minor league.
All right, King Hap, get ready.
He's coming back.
Get ready, King Hap. This is for you.
They got sucked into, they had to take they didn't take their team option, so they automatically locked into his player option, which is $4 million this year and $4 million next. Anyway, it's $10 million total for his player option, so he's coming back. But he pitched 6 games at AAA so far during his rehab. His ERA is over 6, okay? And but really, you got to look a little deeper than that because that 6 ERA is due to this 1 inning that he had, okay, which he wasn't even starting. He was a relief appearance, and he got tagged for 7 runs in 2/3 of an innings on April 19th. And so, but in his last 2 rehab starts, he's allowed only 2 runs over 10 1/3 innings, and he topped the 90 pitch threshold in both games. So the last 2 outings, he's pitched over 5 innings, and he's getting ready to come back. So we'll see what happens. His last outing when he pitched 5 innings, he struck out 4 and he walked 5. So his ERA is not bad, but his WHIP is pretty bad.
Anybody in the chat room believe that Paxton is going to return? Also, Whitlock.
And what about Whitlock? He's coming back again. How many times has he already been hurt this year?
I don't know. But who's going after Paxton?
Well, Cora said that they're going to have a 6-man rotation for a little while to accommodate both Garrett Whitlock and Paxton.
Okay.
And Sale is turning it on. I did a little Sale. Yeah. I did a little Sale digging today.
Okay. What do you got Sale digging?
I don't know. I think I put it in here somewhere.
Sale digging.
I did some Sale digging.
Yeah, I know he had 10 strikeouts in his last outing.
Yeah.
But what about, there's more than Sale and Paxton. What about Tyler Glass now?
All right. He threw 2 1/3 scoreless innings on Friday in a minor league rehab start for AAA Durham. He generated 9 swinging strikes, and he got up to 46 pitches. 25 of them were strikes in his first rehab outing. 4 strikeouts and only 2 walks. So he's 29 years old. He's targeting a mid to late May return after he missed the opening month of the regular season because of a grade 2 left oblique strain. But this guy just got done with Tommy John surgery too. So that must have happened when he was on his way back from Tommy John, right? His grade 2 oblique strain.
Grade 2
this guy's a freaking
left oblique
strain. It's like a China doll.
He is. By the way, thank you all for wishing me happy birthday. I really appreciate. Seriously, I do. But the best thing that anybody has given me is the ability
My mom sent you a gift.
And no, but still, yes, she did. The ability to do a podcast every day with people in the audience. It's the highlight. Big time. Thank you all. Go ahead.
You like your back scratched?
I love my back scratch, but that's something else. Okay, what about,
Bailey Ober.
Yeah, but you talk about a lot of pitchers. Not a lot is being said by the, 6'8" Bailey Ober? All right, he's going to get. He's got to be dealt with. 7 innings pitched, no earned runs in his last outing. Bailey Ober.
Bailey Ober is okay of a pitcher, but he doesn't strike out a lot of batters. He does have a slight problem with walks. His fastball is only 91 miles an hour. His ERA is .98, so it's pretty impressive, right? But his FIP is over 2 at 2.59. This guy does not have great underlying skills as.
Right.
He's not going to do great things for your fantasy team.
Okay, so Bailey Ober, but I would, right now when you're looking for a pitcher off the waiver wire, you're looking for a solid number 4. You may be looking for somebody who could slip in at a number 3. I think Bailey Ober fits into that mode of a number 3 or a number 4 starter. So take a shot with him. The Dodgers, though, their Double-A Tulsa team is loaded with pitcher. You're going to see the Dodgers. I mean, you got the Mets, you got the Yankees. They're not the only ones bringing up prospects. You'll see the Dodgers. Their prospects, their Double-A Tulsa team had pitching prospects with a 2.9 ERA, 109 WHIP, and a 183 batting average against. The next best team in Texas is a hitting league. Next best Texas team has a 3.64 ERA.
Chris Sale, 96 miles an hour, and he actually hit 99 on Friday night.
Yeah, so what do you think?
I like Sale.
Are you going after him in a trade now? You going to try to trade for him? That's the key. Do you trade Sale, or if you're a Sale owner, is now the time to get rid of him? It's all buy low and sell high.
That's a bunch of nonsense.
What's a bunch of nonsense? If you have Chris Sale...
Trying to buy low and sell high, it just hardly ever works.
Do you have confidence in holding on to Chris Sale?
I was going to hold him no matter what.
Or if you get an offer for a player that you appear to need, would you take that offer and get rid of Chris Sale?
Yeah, probably, if I needed something
You
else.
would. What about Max Fried?
He had not allowed more than 2 earned runs in 14 consecutive regular season starts. His line last night against Baltimore, 6 innings pitched, 8 hits, 7 runs, 5 earned runs, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts.
That's not bad.
That was on Friday.
That's on Friday.
Fernando Tatis has 85 home runs in his first 286 MLB games.
That's a lot of home runs, right?
He's the first player to hit multiple home runs in a game against Clayton Kershaw twice. So,
Yes, okay.
when you see Tatis going against Kershaw, go ahead and put him in your
Yeah,
daily.
you got to play Tatis. Normally, you stay away from players who are going against Kershaw.
Brett Batty, dude. Is,
all right, so here's some of the Mets. We talked about the Mets and their prospects. Vientos is another guy, but there's a couple of guys who are just killing it.
Well, Brett Batty's hitting lefties this year.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a small sample size, obviously, so far. But he's been hitting them down in the minors, and he's hitting them now again this year. They did bench him the other day, or maybe it was yesterday, against a lefty. So they're still concerned that he's not going to hit lefties. Last year he hit lefties 111, and righties. He was horrible last year all around.
Right.
But
okay, and what about the minor league kid, Mauricio?
he had 3 hits Friday, including 2 over 110 miles per hour.
Wow.
He has 3 straight multi-hit games, boosting his OPS up to 1.008.
And the Mets made a huge error. With Lindor at shortstop, Mauricio has to learn how to play a different position, something that he has not done until recently.
Yeah, they haven't played. I think they haven't played second base.
Second,
right?
well, that's fine. But put him there and let him play second base every day.
Is he ready to come up?
I don't know. I haven't seen him play.
Carlos Carrasco. Should we even talk about this?
No, you know what? You got to talk about him under the heading of don't take Carlos Carrasco. He was supposed to return by mid-May.
He's not going to come back.
No,
soon.
he's pushed again. He's pushed back his timeline.
We've gone through years of this shit with him. Getting pushed back. Anyways, today the Mets are going to start Joey Lucchesi.
Okay.
And the interesting thing about that is he had a great outing when he came back and made his first appearance back from Tommy John. I like Joey Lucchesi, kind of.
But he's going on short rest. Are you going to pitch Joey Lucchesi?
I would put him in my lineup today, sure.
Got to be out of your mind.
But he only threw 46 pitches last time he was out.
He's not that good to start with.
How do you know? He hasn't pitched in the majors for years.
Okay, but look out.
What about your boy Luis Robert?
There he is.
Is he any good?
He's got hits in his last 4 games with 2 home runs, and now he is starting to heat up.
Okay.
So that's Luis Roberts. Once again, let me take this time before we get into the games to thank everybody, Boston Paul, Daniel Ferrara, Eddie Heckman, James Capion, King Hap, Laura, Leonard Donaldson, Malpal, Mitchell Merrill, Post 1958, SM King Turd, Tommy Johnson, wow, Bill Schneider, you guys helping me celebrate my birthday, and I thank you. Okay.
So Arenado hit a home run yesterday, his third.
What game are you doing?
We're doing Detroit Cardinals.
Yeah, okay, good.
Arenado hit a homer. Dylan Carlson hit his second homer. New Barstool his third base. Spencer Turnbull went 4 2/3, 5 earned runs, 6 strikeouts, and Wainwright 5 strikeouts, 4 earned runs.
Okay, it's okay.
Okay.
The Cardinals extended a losing streak to 8 for the first time in 16 years.
Yeah.
They lose to the Tigers 6-5. Wainwright, as you said, came back. St. Louis is on its longest losing streak since 9 straight that they lost in 2007.
Nolan Gorman was held out of the lineup yesterday for the second straight game, but he pinch hit for Tommy Edman in the 10th, and he hit a game-ending ground out. So.
And Dylan Carlson, he's starting to come on.
I told you.
He is. He hit a 3-run homer in the second inning. Arenado, as you said, hit a 2-run homer. It was Arenado's 3rd home run of the season and his first in 85 plate appearances. Arenado has not been the player that we had hoped for. You mentioned Nolan Gorman, held out of the starting lineup, but he pinch hit for time. They're just playing around. These are young guys. These are all fantasy baseball prospects. Sleepers. You can't win with 8 sleepers in your lineup. Can't do it. In fantasy and in regular baseball.
The Cubbies beat the Marlins 4-2. Bellinger stole his 7th base yesterday, and Nico Horner stole his 12th base.
12 stolen bases.
And guess who got caught stealing? Birdie.
Get out of here. That, to me, you talk about strange things. The Pirates, you talk about the Cardinals losing, the Pirates winning. Birdie, well, how many steals? 4 stolen bases, if I'm not mistaken.
Nico Horner just stole his 12th.
Okay.
And Bellinger stole his 7th.
But Birdie, we thought Birdie would steal 800 bases this year.
Do you know how many homers that Jorge Soler has?
No.
7.
Well, okay.
He had his 7th homer yesterday.
Are you surprised?
A little.
I wonder what, Miami thinks they could win.
AJ Puck got the loss.
Miami thinks they could win. Soler hit a solo homer, and the Marlins have dropped 5 in a row. Last week they swept the Cubs, and now they've 4 in a row. And Adbert Alzolay worked his for his first save.
Yep.
First save.
But the 2 starting pitchers were really just openers. Drew Smyly only went 3 1/3, and Matt Barnes went 1 inning.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's
all
right.
I got for that game.
Not too bad. Kyle Hendricks said he felt good after throwing a bullpen session, so he'll be back sooner than later. And Sandy Alcantara goes against Hayden Wesneski Sunday afternoon in the final.
Colorado beat the Mets 5-2. Ezekiel Tovar hit his 2nd homer.
Yep, he had 3 hits, including a 2-run homer.
And Austin Gomer went 6 innings, 3 strikeouts, 2 earned runs against Trevor McGill, who went, or is that Tyler McGill? One of the McGills. The Mets.
That would be Met McGill.
4 2/3, 4 strikeouts, 3 earned runs, 6 hits.
And Gomber He's got some anxiety problems.
And Johnson got his 5th save.
Okay, but
that's not good. That
what?
means that my boy Brad Hand is not the closer.
No, it's by the way, Tyler McGill.
I mean, I thought it was going to be Brad Hand or who's the one that just had Bard. So Bard, Hand, and neither of those two are closers.
But Elias Diaz, who's my number one catcher, his batting average is .452 with runners in scoring position. He is an excellent catcher. This year, people let him go. Next year, you better grab him. He's hitting .343 with 18 RBIs, and that is Elias Diaz.
I'm gonna take Lucchesi tonight over Ryan Feldner.
You're taking Lucchesi?
Yeah, even though I think they're in Colorado. And Colorado is on a winning streak. They're the worst team in the division, but they've won like 5 or 6 in a row.
And what about Ezekiel Tovar that you mentioned? He's 21 years old.
But he hits at the bottom of the order.
Yeah, he was rated among the top 25 prospects in baseball before this year. Yeah. But still, it was Tovar's 3rd career home run, 2nd of the season. And Randall Grichuk is back. He made a diving catch. Charlie Blackmon had a sacrifice. The Rockies won just for the 3rd time in their past 12 games.
Oh, so they're playing in the Mets. So that means that I will definitely take Lucchesi tonight.
All right, Jeff McNeil was rested. He's not even playing, and they're resting him. They struck out as a pinch hitter. Escobar made his first start at second base. I'm telling you, they got to put these, Batty in and let them play.
All right. They are letting Batty play.
All right, go ahead. Yankees
beat the Rays 3-2.
I'm not surprised.
But the only thing that really happened in this game is there was hardly any scoring, number one. Domingo Germán pitched 5 innings, struck out 5, 2 earned runs. And Rasmussen went 5 2/3 with 6 strikeouts and no earned runs. That was a good outing for Rasmussen. But then their bullpen came in and screwed it all up. The Yankees, Who's this Hamilton? Is that Ian Hamilton? He got his first save.
Okay.
Clay Holmes got a hold yesterday, so interesting enough. But LeMahieu, his 14th RBI, he had his 7th double. Manny Margot hit a double and 2 RBIs. Manny Margot is not having a bad season. And Siri stole his 3rd base. Brooks Raley stole his 1st base. And Tyler and Walls stole his 6th base.
And you're right. Ian Hamilton worked around Luke Raley's 2-out double in the 9th. First major league save. He retired Isaac Paredes on a game-ending fly out. But remember, Harrison Bader, 2-run single during a 3-run 8th inning. The Yankees rallied from a 2-run deficit and beat Tampa 3-2.
And that was the first time that they've actually won a game after trailing. When they were trailing after 7 innings, it was the first victory this season to win when trailing after 7 innings. And they're 1-14 when trailing after 7.
We are bringing you the lady and the legend on a birthday Sunday. And don't forget that the Mets...
Boone expects Judge to come back on Tuesday.
He hopes and prays he comes back.
Well, that's what
the Yankees move back to win 9 games. There's 9 games behind Tampa with their first victory of the season when trailing after 7.
This.
I know you did. Look, the announced crowd. I'm into crowds. Are you into crowds? Do you look at crowds? 27,000, okay? And they opened up the upper deck, and it was just like real baseball. Okay?
Brandon Lau started after missing 2 games with back soreness, and he was hitless in 4 at-bats. He was limited to 65 games last season due to back issues, so that's a little worrisome with Brandon Lau. But Rosarina was the DH. He got hit, he had some kind of...
he's a troublemaker.
Garrett Cole's troublemaker.
He'll start today. He went 1-1. He had a 1.07 against Tampa last year. He'll go against
Josh Fleming.
Either Fleming starts or he follows the opener. Either one.
All right.
Minnesota, Cleveland.
Cleveland beat Minnesota 4-3.
Stephen Kwan.
Wait.
What?
Kepler. Max Kepler. Anytime he goes to Cleveland, you got to play him.
Yes.
I heard today he's hit 16 home runs at Cleveland.
He had a 2-run homer. Minnesota has homered in a team
And he's
record.
having a good season. Max Kepler,
Kepler's a good
fifth
one.
homer of the season.
And Minnesota's hit a record 18 straight games that they've hit home runs.
And Carlos Correa hit his 5th home run yesterday. And Castro stole his second base. And for the Guardians, you have Stephen Kwan. He hit his 1st home run yesterday.
Okay, and Emmanuel Clase, 1-2-3 ninth, got his 11th save.
Logan Allen, the boy I told everybody to
there
pick
you
up.
go. Making his 3rd start, and he outdueled Josiah Gray.
Sonny Gray.
Sonny Gray, same thing.
Well, he went longer than Sonny Gray, but he allowed more. Anyway, 7 hits, 5 2/3, 3 strikeouts, 2 earned runs. Sonny Gray went 5 innings, 6 strikeouts, 3 earned runs. And Clase, like you said, his 11th save.
16 home runs at the ballpark for
yes.
Kepler.
I told you, play Kepler when he goes to Cleveland.
Christian McKenzie continues his rehab in Arizona, so he could be back fairly soon. Joe Ryan, he's 3-0 in 5 career starts against Cleveland, takes on Cleveland's Cal Quantrill.
I like Cal. All right, the Blue Jays beat the Pirates 8-2. The Pirates looked like a friggin' Little League team yesterday.
Yeah, didn't they?
A little bit.
I think their reign as the greatest team in history.
Error.
I think their reign is over. Right?
It might be.
Danny
Josh
Ogden.
Bell hit 2 doubles yesterday.
Oh, really?
All right. Chapman hit a double. Bichette hit a double. Alejandro Kirk hit a double. Barrios made an error. That was his 2nd error. He went 6 1/3, 7 strikeouts for Barrios. That's nice to see from him. 2 earned runs. Sawinski hit his 7th homer and drove in his 19th run. And Oviedo, he's 2-3 now. He pitched 5 innings.
Yeah, he's a good pitcher.
He's okay. 6 earned runs yesterday and only 3 strikeouts, so I don't know how good that is.
And Brandon Belt entered the game hitting 172 in 19 games in his first season with Toronto.
Yeah, but he did good yesterday.
2-run double in the first inning. Pittsburgh has lost 6 games in a row. 6 games. And the crowd was 34,000, the Pirates' largest crowd of the season.
Yeah, 34,882.
Mm-hmm.
Think of that. That's so many compared to what Oakland's getting.
Okay, there you go. And Brian Reynolds extended his hitting streak to 16 games. Okay, McCutchen.
11 games.
Reynolds?
Yeah.
11? Yeah, 11 games.
And Vladdy Jr. was a late scratch because he has left wrist discomfort. Is Boston Paul here? I put your trade through. He traded for Vladdy Jr., but anyway, he had left wrist discomfort, but that's only the 4th game that he's missed since the start of 2020, and he was scheduled to be the DH. Belt shifted from first base to DH, and Biggio started at first. I think that Vladdy will be back in the lineup either today or tomorrow.
And we just got word. This just in. All right, everybody paying attention. Malpal is in bed listening to this radio show. So that's good. Okay, there you go. Malpal doing a great job of pretending he's awake. Andrew McCutchen missed his 2nd straight game, but he'll be back soon. Ji-Win, what's his name?
Ji-Win Bei.
Ji-Win Bei sat out. He rolled his left ankle the other day.
All right, tonight, guess who pitches? Don't forget the best part.
Oh, that's right. Coachy faces Roansy Contreras.
Okay.
Go ahead.
The Reds beat the White Sox 5-3. Alberto hit his 2nd homer. Sebi hit his 2nd homer. I love Sebi.
Yeah, Sebi's doing a good
Mike
job.
Clevenger pitched 6 innings, 7 strikeouts, 4 earned runs, 6 hits. So, okay, fine. 4 earned runs I don't like, but 7 Ks I like. 97 pitches, 63 for strikes. Nick Lodolo for the Reds, 3 2/3. He only made it.
Yep.
And 3 strikeouts, 3 earned runs. Jonathan India stole 2 bases yesterday, both of them off of Clevenger and Sebi.
Wow.
And that's very interesting because when I found Sebi at AFL,
it was defense.
It was his ability to throw runners out.
Yes.
It was like nobody was stealing on this guy. Mm-hmm. Anyways, it was just interesting
to me.
Well,
the rules have changed, though, since you saw him.
India, the bases got bigger.
And then the lead, you can't pick them off.
2 stolen bases off of Sebi and Clevenger from India. That was his 7th stolen base this season. TJ Friedel hit his third home run, and he hit a triple yesterday.
3-run homer and a run-scoring triple. You hit that one right. And, of course, India went 3 for 3 and scored 3 times. But the White Sox came in hitting 180. 180 with runners in scoring position over, I believe, a 13-game span.
Yeah.
Okay.
On Saturday, they went 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position.
And the White Sox, though, they seem to be coming on. They've won 4 of 6 since losing a season-high 10 straight. And they've dropped, and they're 5 and 13 on the
Will
road.
Myers is reinstated from the IL after recovering from COVID.
Graham Ashcraft will oppose Michael Kopech today. Everybody loves Kopech.
The Oakland Athletics beat the Royals 5-4.
Yep.
J.J. Bleday hit his second homer yesterday.
He did? I didn't see that.
He hit his second home run yesterday.
Wow.
Drove in his second run. Ruiz stole his sixth. Guess how many stolen bases for Ruiz?
8?
16.
Wow.
It's his 16th stolen base.
Yeah, Ruiz, right.
And you got Birdie rolling around with 4 stolen bases.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
How
Bob,
much? Yeah, go
what?
ahead.
Go ahead.
How much
okay.
you pay for Ruiz? How much did you pay for Birdie?
Ken Waldichuk had a decent, not great, decent. Mm-hmm. He threw 114 pitches, which is nice to see from a youngster. 5 innings, 6 strikeouts, 4 earned runs. Not great, but the fact is he's getting his pitch count way up there, which is good. Jackson got his first save yesterday. And then for the Royals, Brady Singer, 4 innings, 4 strikeouts, 5 earned runs.
But Oakland won consecutive games for the first time this year.
And Bobby Witt Jr. hit his 6th homer.
Right. Okay.
Furman hit his 2nd homer.
29,000, the highest home attendance for the season. So, marked the first series win of the season for the Athletics. They lost their first 10 series. So, the Athletics coming on.
And the Royals, did you say how many people were there?
Yeah, 29,000.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so
Kevin Pillar hits a 2-run homer in the 8th inning as the Braves, I think they have the best team in baseball, rallied for a 5-4 win over Eddie Heckman and the Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah, the Braves scored 2 runs in the 8th inning to beat the Baltimore Orioles by 1 run. Austin Riley did hit a double yesterday. Marcell Ozuna.
Oh, he's
turned it on.
Yep.
I dropped him in several leagues because that's how
a lot of people did.
That's how bad he is.
A lot of
but
people
he hit
did.
his 6th home run yesterday.
Yeah.
And drove in his 9th run. So look, he's not great, but I might have to go around and pick him back up this week. Stolen base. Ozzie Albies stole his first base of the season. You won't see a lot of those from him. Spencer Strider, 5 innings, 10 strikeouts, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we roll with.
By the way, Iglesias got the save.
Yes, first save.
First appearance of the season.
And Kyle Bradish pitched 5 innings, 4 strikeouts, 3 earned runs.
Okay.
That's it for that.
Nice going there. That was an interesting game. Michael Harris, by the way, returned after missing 2 games with a jammed knee, so he'll be okay.
Rob Refsnyder. Okay, the Red Sox beat the Phillies 7-4.
Yep.
But apparently Yoshida has a huge man crush on Bryce Harper.
Oh, and Harper hit his first home run of the season.
Harper is so great.
Yeah,
he was actually signing shit for Yoshida. I'm not kidding.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
I don't know how the rest of the Red Sox clubhouse feels about that. But he was like all starstruck over Bryce Harper.
If it was Bob Gibson, he would have punched them both out.
Rob Refsnyder was batting leadoff yesterday. Just wanted to say that.
Okay.
Real Muto hit his 8th double. Harper, first home run. Stolen base, Ramiel Tapia, his 4th stolen base. And Verdugo stole a base yesterday, number 3.
He's starting to come on.
I think he's feeling a little bit threatened with his leadoff spot taken away.
Rafael Devers had 3 hits, 2 RBIs. The Red Sox now have their longest winning streak since July of 2021. And the Red Sox entered, leading the majors in hits and doubles. King Hap, the Red Sox are coming on.
Boston Paul's a better fan of the Red Sox.
All right, Boston Paul, the Red Sox are coming on.
What shirt are you wearing today, Leonard?
I'm wearing my happy hour shirt.
Yes, you are.
Boston has scored at least 5 runs in every game During their winning streak, they have 10 or more hits in 17 games.
Corey Kluber went 5 innings, 1 strikeout, 3 earned runs, 7 hits. Bailey Falter went 3 2/3, 4 strikeouts, 5 earned runs. And Kenley Jansen got his 8th save.
Scoreless ninth, eighth. He got Harper to ground out to end the game. Okay. And the team played 500 baseball without Harper, and now they have fallen to 4 games under with Harper after dropping all 4 of the games that Harper has been. That is just the craziest thing.
That's just coincidence.
They lose with Harper, and they win without him. Go ahead. Alex Cobb's a good pitcher.
Alex Cobb went 7 innings, no earned runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Save went to Camilo Doval.
Yep.
Christian Yelich is batting leadoff on this team.
Okay.
Milwaukee.
They got to shake things up.
Thairo Estrada hit his 5th home run and drove in 2.
Right, and when a team like Milwaukee loses 6 in a row, shakeups are coming. Shakeups are on. I mean, could you imagine?
Colin Bray went 6 innings, 4 hits, 4 strikeouts, 3 earned runs.
Milwaukee, longest losing streak since an 8-game streak from last June. But Milwaukee, St. Louis, Pittsburgh, Chicago. Who's going to win that Central Division? Who do you think?
Cubbies.
You think the Cubs?
Maybe.
All
I
right.
like Bellinger.
Go ahead.
All right, that's all I have to say about that. I like Thairo Estrada, right?
He
like
is.
him.
He's become a much better player. I remember at the beginning of the year. Remember I got him in a trade, and I questioned it. You didn't, though, so I remember that. Go ahead.
Brewers manager Craig Counsell was ejected in the 6th inning for arguing. Okay.
Nationals in Arizona. Lourdes Gurriel had 4 hits.
I love it. Wait, let me talk
Third
about him.
homer of the
He's
season.
my favorite.
First pitch from Kyle Finnegan. Go.
I just love it. Gurriel Jr.
Third homer.
He was the star of the game yesterday.
Oh,
though.
for sure.
So Gurriel drove in and he's only hit 3 home runs, but he's driven in 15. He's gonna have a good season. This guy. He's batting third. That's the hugest thing. I was telling everybody. It matters because when he was with Toronto, he batted 9th, and now he gets to bat third, and it's a big deal. He's going to drive in a lot more runs batting third.
4 for 5 yesterday. Made a sliding
Keibert
catch.
Ruiz, you like him too, right? He bats in the middle of the order.
Yeah, he's okay.
Well, he bats in the middle of the order, and he hit a double yesterday, his 5th double. Thomas hit a homer for
You know who Emmanuel Rivera is?
No.
He hit a solo homer against Mackenzie Gore in the first inning. I have nothing to say about him, but I will. This is the thing. I admit when I don't know something about a player, I just don't tell you bull dinky and poppycock to show you how much of an expert I am. I will check him out, though, that's for sure. Victor Robles came out of the game with a bad back.
Oh, no.
I think he's had a bad back for about 4 years now, so go ahead.
Thomas Henry, he's the Diamondbacks pitcher yesterday. He went 6 innings, so you say, okay, who is this guy? Well,
I don't know.
3 strikeouts, 2 earned runs. I look at his stats. First of all, he came up in 2022, and he came up now in this year, too. He's been in the majors 2 years now. But his strikeout percentage is...
Nakahoma's here. Nakahoma's here. Go ahead.
He's not a great pitcher. He's striking out 10% of the batters, and he's walking only 39%. I mean, ground balls are 39%. So he's he's just not a great pitcher. Even though he did pitch 6 innings yesterday, I wouldn't go crazy and go at. Although I will say this, the Arizona Diamondbacks have a great pitching coach. So,
okay.
If they could make something of this guy, it would be them.
And May from the Dodgers held the Padres to just 3 singles, 2 by Tatis. He struck out 6. May is a good pitcher, and Evan Phillips picked up...
the Dodgers beat the Padres by 1 run.
Yeah, and they pitched the 9th inning for... Evan Phillips got his 4th save.
I'm glad to hear it. Evan Phillips getting saves. Tatis hit his 3rd double, drove in his 10th run. Taylor hit a homer, number 6. Is that Chris Taylor?
Yes,
it's Chris
that's
Taylor,
Chris Taylor.
home run number 6. And Smith. That's Will Smith, the catcher. He stole a base yesterday, his first stolen base. Dustin May, 6 innings, 6 strikeouts, no earned runs, 99 pitches. Blake Snell, 6 innings, 6 strikeouts, 2 earned runs, only 1 hit for Blake Snell. That's pretty good.
Julio Urias goes against Joe Musgrove, he was pushed back 2 days ago with blisters on the bottom of his feet. So he's back. Texas and the Angels.
Texas beat the Angels 10-1. Bubba Thompson stole second base. Eovaldi, 8 innings pitched, 5 strikeouts, no earned runs. I want to talk about Brandon Drury hit his 7th homer yesterday. But Reed Detmers pitched. I'm still not ready to give up on this guy. It took him, it took him 94 pitches to get through 4 innings, 7 strikeouts, but 7 hits, 3 earned runs. I still like Detmers. I'm not getting rid of him, but I do not like the fact that I'll tell you that his FIP is better than his ERA. His batting average on balls in play right now is inflated, pretty big. So he's having bad luck, and he's still throwing the ball hard, but he doesn't make it very deep into games. Like his last 2 outings, his last outing yesterday, he made it 4 innings. And on April 29th, his start was 4 1/3 innings. But he does strike out a lot of batters. Like he struck out 7 yesterday in 4 innings. He struck out 6 on April 29th in 4 1/3 innings. He strikes out at least 6 every time he goes out there, but I am a little concerned that he's not getting deep into games. Like he's not even staying in the game long enough to get a win. And that's the thing.
King Turd has officially dropped Detmers.
I'm not doing it yet.
Okay. Anthony Rendon held out because of a sore thumb, by the way. Just want to let you know.
Anthony Rendon.
All right, last game. We got the Astros.
All right,
and the
Mariners beat the Astros 7-5. Yordan Alvarez double. Tucker drove in his 30. Kyle Tucker. We talked yesterday you said that between Kyle Tucker and Yordan Alvarez, they're just running this whole team, really.
Oh, absolutely.
And that was, again, the case yesterday. Alvarez drove in. Guess how many RBIs Alvarez has on the season?
I don't know, 36?
31.
31, okay. And we talked about J.P. France yesterday. I was not that high on him, but France...
He went 5 innings.
And 2 relief pitchers, I'll tell you what, they...
Montero came in and wrecked the game.
Yep, but France looked pretty good, better than I thought.
France, 5 innings, 5 strikeouts, no earned runs, 3 hits, 84 pitches, 5 innings. Marco Gonzalez, 6 innings, 4 strikeouts, 3 earned runs, 6 hits. And again, it's just basically it's Yordan Alvarez and friggin'
but here's the real deal. Ty France had 2 hits off of who?
J.P. France.
And France, 2 hits off of France.
Are they related?
And I have no idea. But on that note, everybody, thank you for being here on our birthday. Okay, it's my son on the phone. 1 second,
Okay.
We're just wrapping it up. Hold on. And we thank you all for being here on our birthday Sunday morning, Lady in the Legend.
Okay.
So thanks, everybody. Gotta
Bye.
go talk to my boy.